what's happening? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and welcome to F.A.Q. What the F.A.Q. number 3.
Trace.
So we realized that we need to keep these a little bit shorter. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to not make them 35 miles long. Yeah, that's a long...
We're heading into light years now.
Yeah, it's a long Uber. So welcome to What the F.A.Q. Ike and
Dylan.
Right here, Flipside Music, Denver, Colorado, right in Denver proper.
You're home for tone.
Yes, you're home for tone.
Yeah, we try to help the tonally challenged whenever we can.
Fixing Denver's tone problem
one bad tone at a time. Yeah.
One pedal at a time. Yeah, that's it. All right, so we're going to try to keep these a little bit shorter. Last two went probably a little bit longer, and now we've just wasted a minute of an intro. So here we're going to get started right away. Thanks. All right, Terry Starks, who asked us a question last week, said his question is, heard someone say the other day that everyone needs one Strat, a Les Paul, and a PRS to complete the arsenal. Apparently, Terry has a Strat and a Les Paul, traditional, and a Martin, and he's complete. What are the 3 must-haves to be complete?
Personally, this one is pretty tough because my inclination is just to go explore.
Yeah, the same way that I just want to go like, a telly with single coils, a telly with P90s, and a telly with humbuckers.
Yeah,
that's not my
everything.
answer though.
Although I'd be very happy with that. I'd feel some sense of completeness if I had those.
I'd be okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like Les Pauls definitely do have a particular sound. Strats are the one that I feel like is the hardest to cop, other than maybe a telly, because telly can kind of get into there, but Strats definitely, I feel like you need some variation thereof, or at least something that kind of has that vibe to it.
That's why I got a very... So what's your 3? I'm not gonna say anything.
Well, I guess yeah. Then for me, Explorer, Strat. Okay. No, I don't know. SGs
you got to answer. We're on video.
I know. Yeah, for me, I mean, really, it would be probably like a Strat, Les Paul, and an Explorer, I guess. But Les Paul and Explorer are pretty interchangeable for me, though.
All right. I think I would go. So I'm gonna change it up because I'm gonna get clever on this one. So, of course, I got to have a telly because everybody knows I love me some tellies. But I think I would choose a Nashville telly so that I could do the 2-for-1 deal, because that way I could get some Stratty tones.
Tricky answer.
Yeah. I can get some Stratty tones out of the Nashville telly while I could still get the traditional telly sounds out of the telly. I would also go with, I think I got to have a 335 or a 335 type guitar.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that because that's one body style and sound that you can't really cop any other way.
Yeah, I think I got to have one of those, and I think then I would probably have to do, I guess a Les Paul. So that's what I would do: Nashville telly, Les Paul, and a 335.
Yeah, now that I think about the 335, I mean, if I had the Explorer, I could go that route too.
I think you need it
or something hollow body-ish.
I could pick probably 8 guitars to.
Well, yeah.
Total, but
and we could make up thorough excuses for needing each one. But.
Oh, totally. Yes, we certainly could. So I think that's going to be the answers for me.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we can move on to Mr. Baker.
All right, Robert Baker, who is actually going to be here this Saturday doing a clinic for Vola guitars. He's going to be here, so if you're in the Denver area and you want to come out, check out Robert Baker, and we also got David Walleman, and I think Ryan from RNA Music's coming out too, so that ought to be cool. It's going to be a little party in here. Yeah,
Baker will be throwing out hair care tips and everything.
Yeah, he's going to show how he conditions and how he rinses, washes that stuff right out of his hair. What was that?
What, L'Oreal or whatever that is?
L'Oreal.
Oh,
yeah,
the
I don't know,
yeah.
some old commercial. I don't remember. I was like, what? Okay, so Robert Baker asks, Les Paul, SG, or Explorer, you got to keep one, sell one, and break one. You want me to go
Another
first?
good variation on a popular game.
On the same thing. I'm going to have to say, if I got to keep one, I'm going to keep the Explorer.
Yeah, well, obviously, for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, well, too, the Les Paul is going to be the most valuable, so I'd probably sell that one and then get another Explorer.
Yeah, so I think we're in agreement
Yeah,
so we'd probably
SGs is
sell
great,
Les
yeah.
Paul because we could get some dough, some pizza.
Yeah.
We'd buy some good pizza. And then I would keep the Explorer so we could rock. And then, sorry SG, but you got to go.
Yeah, neither one of us. I mean, I love SGs, but I just don't think I'd personally play one.
I feel like it looks
Yeah,
like a little
toy,
ukulele on me.
Yeah.
You know, it's bad enough the telly feels small.
Yeah.
So there's your answer, Baker Face. I'll see you. Actually, I'll see you tomorrow, brother. So that's a good one. That's a good question. I like it.
Yeah, I like that one. It's a good game, honestly.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah.
All right, so next, Ryan Lawley. Hi. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
Everybody's
Ryan
showing
from-
up.
Yeah. It's like a party up in here. So Ryan asks us, do you have a brand you've worked with that was really fantastic with communication and dealer support? So I usually deal mostly with a lot of the vendors. Dylan's been doing a lot more lately. So he's kind of starting to get a real feel for some of the companies that we were dealing with. I would say for me, a couple of the companies that I really like working with is one of them is Reverend. My rep Zach over at Reverend's really cool. So I just like working with those guys. They're all cool dudes. Everybody plays over there, so they all kind of get it. And it's kind of nice that it's not they're a smaller company, so you kind of know who you're going to get, and these guys really care about what they do and what they're putting out to the marketplace. So I'd say for me, Reverend would be a really good one, and then I'd say like Matt from Stomp Underfoot.
For sure. Yeah.
He's a really cool guy, small company, and
Great to talk shop with, too.
yeah,
It's always
just
fun,
just talking nonsense about pedals and stuff
yeah.
like
And
that.
bands and tones and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I probably had a few hour-long conversations with them, even just in the last month or so.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are my two real quick. I mean, I got a couple other companies that I really like working with, too. But I would say that those two companies right now are probably the two that I like the most.
Yeah, for me personally, outside of that group, Earthquake would probably be the big one because there was a spot when Ike went on a break for a little bit, and I had to track down some stuff for a customer, and then we actually had a couple pedals that were apparently had some malfunctioning parts that would only apparently fail if you left the pedal on after 8 hours, so it was not even likely to occur, but they still went to the trouble of tracking everybody down and getting everybody fixed up.
Yeah,
so I feel
like
like
cool that they did that.
yeah, I mean, they went above and beyond what most companies would do. And, I mean, as they're getting bigger, I feel like they're dealing with the growing pains pretty good. So they're not like, their customer service isn't diving as they go up. Their customer service isn't going down. So they would be a big one, especially as big as they are.
Yeah, I agree. I like them. My rep there, too, Anna. She's super cool.
Yeah,
She lives in
nice.
Brooklyn. So they're in Oklahoma. No, they're in Akron.
Yeah.
They're in Akron,
Ohio.
Ohio. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in Ohio. I don't know what's in the water over there, but
Yeah, apparently something guitar related.
I guess so.
Because, yeah, plenty of companies out there. Even Black Arts, I think, is out there, too, actually, now that I think about it. I think they're in...
Yeah, I mean,
like,
Reverend's
Central
out
Ohio.
there.
Yeah,
Reverend's in
Reverend, yeah.
Toledo, and yeah, there's
Maybe
a
we
lot.
gotta, that'd be a
Dr.
good
Z.
spot to hit up for videos somewhere down the line.
We might just have to go make a road trip
Ohio
to
tour.
Ohio. Make a flip trip, go to Ohio, and hang around for a week. Go talk. Dr. Z's out there.
Oh, yeah,
He's a
so
cool
that's
dude.
something, yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Z's a cool guy to deal with, too. All right, so yeah. All right, well, there we go. That's our answers. So next, Mr. Tim Warley. What new band should I be listening to? Who's on repeat on your Zune? On my Zune. Miami Sound Machine.
Gloria Estefan.
Gloria Miami Sound Machine, man. I was, get on your feet. Hey, man, I had a Latin mode when I had my Zoom, bro.
Yeah, with your lowrider and all that.
That's so different. Who am I listening to right now? I don't know. I'm kind of all over the board. So I think lately I've been listening to a lot of like Chris Stapleton, Sturgill Simpson, kind of fits that stuff. Some country soul type deals. I like songwriting. Guy's got great voices, good stories. Also Kirk Fletcher, Josh Adams for blues.
Yeah, I'd say, Marcus King's in my rotation.
Yeah,
a lot,
Marcus
too,
King,
lately.
I've
Especially
been
because
listening
he's
to a lot of
taken kind of more of a southern rock and blues vibe together. So I like what he's been doing. Obviously, Gary Clark, he's been around for a little bit now, but
Yeah.
he's been in my rotation a lot lately.
I like Blackberry Smoke. Those guys are a lot of
Oh,
fun,
yeah.
too. I mean, they've been around for a bit, but I like those guys. And another one that's kind of a left fielder for me is Lake Street Dive. They're pretty cool. They got a cool approach to stuff.
Yeah, and if you guys like any of the heavier stuff, for me, I mean, Earthless, they've been around a little over 10 years now, but Earthless would be a big one to check out if you like Jimi Hendrix and Black Sabbath had a baby that's pretty much Earthless. And then locally, Cloudcatcher is one of my favorites.
Yeah, Cloudcatcher is good. Local
Yeah, they
Denver
always
band.
put on a great show.
MF Ruckus, they're a good local band too.
Cloudcatcher is on Spotify too. I don't know if I'm sure MF Ruckus
is on there too. So
But
check
yeah, if
those
you guys
guys out
want
for
them.
locals. Check out the Potato Pirates too for punk rock. So I've been listening to a lot of punk stuff too. I'm really it's really
Irish
weird.
punk,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
really just weird the way I listen to stuff. Like I'll listen to one thing on the way into work. Like I'll listen to punk rock on the way to work, and then I'll get there and listen to classic country.
I'm kind of that way with Motorhead. Like first thing in the morning to get going.
Yeah,
You just need it. Yeah. Well, I'm that way all the time with Motorhead, but you know what I mean.
Motorhead's greit for driving.
Yes, yeah.
Road trips is like
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. So that's where we're at, Tim Worley. I mean, I don't know if there's any new bands. That doesn't. We didn't say
Like
crap
really
about
new. I
bands.
mean, that's.
I don't know about anybody new. I think I'm not into anything new right now. Any new bands right now. That's where.
Well,
I'm at.
I have a harder time with new, because to me, if you're even within the last 10 years, that's relatively new. But like some of my favorite bands are still just shy of that. Because I feel like there was a lot of bands that came out around 2005, 2006 that I've still kept with,
Okay.
but not so much lately, I guess.
I'm getting old. 10 years ago was like last week. I'm like, man, whatever. When did they come out? Yeah, they've been around for 2 weeks. And they're like, 10 years.
All right.
But that's where we're at. So sorry, Tim. That's just who we're listening to right now. And
Check all of those out.
yeah, check all those stuff out. Couldn't go wrong, I don't think.
Yeah.
All right, next, Chris B. Which brand of pedals do you think you could build? Wait a minute. What? Which brand of pedals do you think you could build the highest quality, most complete board with, including a tuner? Well, why has he got to throw that tuner thing in there? That throws everything.
Well, he throws it out of there.
What's that?
Excluding.
Oh, excluding.
Yeah.
Excluding a tuner.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, really.
Yeah.
So, ooh, that's a tough one because it kind of depends on what you're doing. We've had this similar question.
Yeah, because I feel certain companies definitely are aimed at. I don't want to say they're aimed at certain genres, but you'll just see them more often with certain genres or certain players. But that is tough. That's really
The
tough.
highest quality, most complete board. So there's some interesting verbiage in there. So I guess I would have to go with. Oh, this is a tough one. We have a lot of pedals in the shop, so
Well, I have very favorite ones for very specific
for
type.
specific things
Yeah.
like overdrives. If it was
Yeah, that
if it
would
was
be an easy
all
one.
overdrive,
Yeah.
I think it would be J
J-Rocket
Rocket.
for sure. Yeah.
They have they have some utility modulation stuff that they do that would be awesome. So for me, I think I could build a complete board for what I like to do with J Rocket. But if I was going to go with a board that had to have much more than just drive, then that was going to go with spacey,
Modulation.
modulated, hipstery kind of
Atmospheric goodness.
Atmospheric type stuff. I would probably go with Earthquaker.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna say I'm kind of inclined to go that way because they hit all the marks and all their stuff's all pretty unique. So I mean, it's not really gonna be, you're not gonna have a lot of overlap with some other companies if you went that route with them. And honestly, I would say, I mean, if you're really into the techie side of it, Chase Bliss would be one to really think, because I mean, their pedals can pretty much go wherever you want to go. So that would be one, if money wasn't really an issue, that you could do just about anything with their stuff. And they have all the major points covered. So.
And it would be a small board too.
Yeah, it would be compact but super effective.
Yeah.
You could even line it all out to have all of it in presets if you wanted to. So I mean, they would be highly effective and small. So
Yeah. So I think that's where, we picked out 3. So picked out 3 brands: J Rocket, Chase Audio, Chase Bliss Audio, and then Earthquaker.
which we know Chris already loves J Rocket, so
Yeah, I
we already know that for him. He probably saw that one coming.
So I think that's where we're good. Not saying that any of the other brands aren't quality, but I would say that if we're looking at highest quality and most complete, that's where I would go with that.
Yeah. I mean, the other companies all have, they're all covering their spots. It's just they all have their own takes. So makes it a little hard to hit everybody for every genre.
Yeah, we got too many awesome pedals though in here. I'm looking at the case right now.
It's true, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay. Well, all right. Where are we at? 15 minutes. Oh, sweet, man.
Yeah, we're closing in two questions.
Two questions left. This is awesome. Okay, you want to read one?
Sure. Michael Kingston, why do guitar companies keep making their version of a Fender or Gibson style guitar? Does it affect the sales of a guitar if the manufacturer makes something radically different? I'd say yes and no. I almost feel like if you go wild enough, like, you know, even Reverend, like they've merged some different body types to kind of create an amalgam of those styles. So I feel like they went far enough that it paid off. Like the risk going with those body styles paid off. But some, like, you know, I don't know, BC Rich and some of the other ones that just, their styles are kind of a little outlandish and they stayed a little 280s maybe. I feel like that can kind of hurt sales, or at least as time goes on, you'll see the sales dip.
Yeah, because it could be trendy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but I think part of it is that there could be a familiarity to a body style that will get you in the ballpark. You know what I mean? So you're kind of like.
Well, like we were kind of talking about with Ibanez, like they're a company based around very specific styles of Strat style instruments. Mm-hmm. But it's like they hit every mark in between, and it's, you know, they usually have something that would be comfortable for somebody that wants something classic, as well as somebody that wants something modern. But as far as like why do companies keep doing that? Nostalgia.
I think it's because, and at the same time, I think it's because, like I said, it's kind of familiar.
Yeah.
So people kind of see that, and then people also, like, you know, they learned how to play on a Les Paul, they learned how to play on a Strat, and that's what they stick with, and they don't kind of branch out and go to other things. But there's also some pretty interesting guitars out there that, I mean, look at the St. Vincent guitar. You know, that body style is a different style, and it seems to be really popular right now. I mean, it's a super popular guitar. What's another odd-shaped one right now that's popular? But I think long and the short of it, it could be trendy too. But starting your own body style is tough because people have to get used to seeing that. And I think why most brands keep making the Strats and Tellys and Les Pauls ish is because people are familiar with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, going into that, I feel, you know, something I was kind of thinking about too with this is a lot of these builders probably had ideas kind of training as, like, let's say they bought a Les Paul or a Strat, then they probably got it and they're like, well, it'd be perfect if it had this and if it had this and if I did this. So then they finally, when they make their company, they go ahead and make their dream version of that instrument. So kind of like I said, they started with something they were comfortable with and it just transitioned into their builds.
And I think that's where you see something like Paul Reed Smith.
Right. Kind of merging the world.
Yeah, you're taking it in different worlds, you know. Yeah, kind of, you know, let's go with 25-inch scale length. So it's different, but it's, you know.
Les Paul on the bottom, Strat in the front.
It's like the mullet of...
the mullet of the guitar.
The mullet of the guitar world. I don't know if Paul would agree with that, but...
maybe he'd accept it. He'd just work with it. Mullet sightings are always special, so...
Party in the front.
Yeah.
Business in the... Yeah.
Business in the front, party in the back.
But I think, I don't know, that's where I'm at with that. That's what I would say. I think it's difficult to come out with a body style that's going to be appealing to everybody and out of the gate. The thing is that everybody hates everything now. It just seems like. No matter what you do, everybody has got a crap. You know, the traditionalists don't like it. And then, you know, new folks are going to be like...
Well, I actually think it's kind of cool, too, because we're kind of now seeing a resurgence of some of the old bodies coming back, like the High Flyers and all the old Univox guitars and, like, the weird teardrop ones.
Oh, yeah.
All those are starting to kind of resurface in other companies. So I think people are looking for things, but still, that's still just a variation on a Strat. So it's like you know, at the end of the day, I guess there's only so many ways to do it, but...
Yeah. If anybody's got a Hondo Longhorn, let me know. I think it's got like 32 frets, one humbucker. I need to find one. Okay, yeah, so that's it. I think that's what I'm going with. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right, so closing in on 20 minutes. We got one last one. Question from Matt from Texas Toast Guitars. He said this question is very near and dear to him. How relevant is the Super Strat in 2018?
And I mean, we kind of, I think, mixed opinions on this, but also they meet kind of in the middle. So to me, I feel like they might not be relevant, but they're still viable. Because I feel like they're very versatile instruments, and you'd be honestly pretty hard-pressed to find anything that would cover that much territory. So they're still viable, but I would say, yes, relevancy has probably gone down.
Yeah, I don't think that they're nearly as popular as they used to be, obviously. But kind of like we were saying earlier, too, is look at a company like Ibanez. You know? I mean, not saying that the whole company is based on the Super Strat, but they got
you could kind of, yeah.
I mean, that's their most popular shape-ish.
That's what they have the most variations on, too.
Right.
So.
Right. I mean, they have other really good guitars too, but I mean that's kind of their bread. I would say that's their bread and butter.
Well, even Acacia and Volus, same thing. I mean, one of their flagship models is definitely firmly in the Super Strat vibe. It's kind of got some classic vibes to it, but it's definitely still going for more of a Super Strat. Which, like I said, I think just for effectiveness, it's hard to beat that.
Utility wise, it's relevant. I don't think we're seeing them as much.
As relevant as you want it to be.
Right. That's also a very ambiguous and solid answer. It covers a lot of ground. But along with that, I think we're seeing a lot of people playing different shaped guitars. A lot of Jaguars and Jazz Masters and offset stuff. And just, I mean, I think people are really branching out.
Well, I think people want they want to be... I don't know. They want to get out of like some of the more classic shapes.
Right. Well, not everybody.
Not everybody.
This even touches back to what we were talking about just before. I think what we're seeing is a lot of the younger crowd.
Yes.
Are just going with something that's cool or that's different. They don't want to play their dad's guitar. Not everybody. Not all of them, but.
And then there's a whole other group that's taking all the vintage stuff and using it for modern applications. So, and I would say I'm kind of in that camp. Like I like the vintage styled instruments. They look cool. They have a cool sound, and they're cool.
Yeah.
I like to use them for modern, more modern applications. But, like you said, there's probably an equal number of guys out there trying to get away from that. So.
Yeah, I agree. So I guess.
I think that might
still relevant.
Yeah.
I would say they're still relevant because they're very versatile and utilitarian.
Yeah,
but just I don't see as much them. I don't see them on stages as much as I used to.
Right. But I would also say, overwhelmingly, it seems like a lot of the signature instruments out there are variations on the Super Strat.
Gotta wrap it up real quick. Battery's about to die. He was gonna say Guthrie Govan. That's it. Thanks, guys.
You're on the Dr. Phil show. A problem is that you're into yourself, that you flirt with girls, that you're not plugged into your marriage. You're in the green room hitting on my staff. What the hell are you